Aida Muluneh é uma fotógrafa super respeitada que lida com um tema muito presente aqui na Etiópia, a relação entre o progresso e a tradição, seja ela cultural ou religiosa.
I work with like fashion designers to create different pieces and so forth. So everything is, dealing with history, and this chair actually exists. In the back, you'll see the emperor's logo.
Yep.
So when the communists came, they didn't bother deleting it out. They just stenciled in the sickle and hammer, and I'm like, that's so ironic.
Some people would say that a place like Ethiopia has a lot of problems that need to be solved, and art shouldn't be the main focus of.
I don't believe in that. I've been in government committees for a lengthy of time. Culture is an important component to development.
Absolutely.
So it's not a matter of like how many roads you build and how many buildings you have. It's also the development of people's minds. So if you have all this young generation coming up consuming American culture and consuming all these foreign cultures, then what are we doing in order to have our own people also be part of that? People might say, well, people are hungry. And I'm like, no, we have to move everything simultaneously at the same time.
Aida faz parte de uma geração que cresceu fora daqui, mas resolveu voltar exatamente por acreditar nessa nova Etiópia. Isso, é claro, se reflete no trabalho dela, inspirado no conceito do afrofuturismo.
This is my main goal, and it's really to show that Africa is unique because, and especially for a place like Ethiopia, we are in between the past, the present, and the future. Most people do not imagine Africa future. They think of the past. There's the nostalgia of the past, and then there's the current reality of the present. Living in so many places in the world, I always carried, my culture, my heritage, and especially for my mother, it was really important to maintain the connection back to the homeland. But, coming back here, it's also relearning the culture because, I have, obviously very Western tendencies. So it took me a while to sort of get the pacing of being back home. But for me, it's, I didn't see the point of being somewhere else, having a conversation about Ethiopia. So I figured if I'm going to be part of change, I can't fantasize about it, to the internet somewhere else, that I have to actually be on the ground here to do the work.
How would you define like an Ethiopian if you could do something like that?
It's funny because there is the media perception of Ethiopia, which is still, the same cliche that we've seen many times.
What I mean related to poverty?
Relating to poverty, to war, to whatever, a political strife and so forth. But what I try to explain is that there's a complexity to this place, that it's not just one thing. It's so diverse, even in the city, it's so diverse. And then when you go to the countryside, it's even more diverse. But within that, the key thing that especially foreigners always say is that people are very friendly and, genuinely, people will welcome you in. And even if they have that one piece of bread, our culture is to share.
Recently, the President of the United States called all African countries shitholes. How do you feel about that?
I think he should come to Africa and visit Africa and to know what he's speaking about first. But again, this is the typical cliche sort of oppressive languaging that perpetuates more stereotypes.